Okay, hey, it's Coach Jill, and it's Monday night, and welcome to our transformation group coaching call. We're just getting started here. Welcome to the new format. Let's see who's on. Okay, May Desmond, I see you. Krista, Kavada, Elizabeth, Rashawn, I see you all. Let's see if I can't get you on live here with me.
I don't know why I didn't. Hey.
Yeah, we're live here.
Okay. I don't know why it didn't come through my computer. I'm going to try to figure it out.
Okay. Bear with me. I'm going to try and get Krista and everybody else on live here. Bear with me, guys. I'm inviting you in as I see you here. So, Sean, okay. All right. For anybody that's watching, I just sent you an invitation. So feel free to come join us live. Happy to have you join us live here. And I just lost Paula. I'm not sure where Paula went. Anyways, so this is the new format. Welcome to the new format. There you are, Paula. So really exciting to have everybody here. Hopefully, there we go. Now we got people coming in. Hey, Kavada.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. Let's see. Elizabeth, I see you. I'm going to invite you live to the call as well. Bear with me, guys. Just a little bit of technical stuff going on with a different end. May's not going to be joining us on this call. She's still tied up at the office. So we have... hey, Kavada. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hey, Rashawn.
Hey, Rashawn. Doing well.
Hi, guys.
Excellent. Let's see. Elizabeth, I see you. I'm going to invite you live to the call. Somebody's got... bear with me, guys. Just a little bit of technical... Rashawn, you have the other one running in the back. There you go. Going on with a different end. Now, she's not going to be joining us on this call. She's still tied up at the office. Close out, yeah. Or close out. You've got a window that's open and running in the background, Rashawn, so you might want to close that out. All right. Oh, and let's get Olga going here. Olga, hold on. I'll invite you in. One sec. Okay. Okay, Olga, I just sent you an invitation, a live invitation, so come and join us. So how is everybody tonight? How are you guys doing?
I'm well.
Okay. I'm just going to go down the line. So, Kavada, how are you doing? How's it going? How was your week?
I mean, last week you mean? Because this week just this week just started. Well, I just finished my fourth week, I guess, with the 3 consecutive juice days. I'm still recovering from that, so yeah.
Tell me what that looks like for you. Why are you still recovering from that? Let's talk about that.
When I say that I'm still recovering, I was really groggy at the end of yesterday and kind of just really lethargic in a sense. That's the best way to express it. I did what was suggested: drink more juice or add protein powder. I ate olives because I was really hungry. I did seeds as well, but it was something that I've never done in that way before. So my body just had a hard time adjusting. I mean, doing the 1 day, the 2 days, I mean, that's about as far as I'll go with a fast. Even before in my own fast, where I did fast for consecutive times either without eating anything because I was first fasting for beliefs or whatever. I still had something at night. So doing it like that 3 consecutive days, just fast for consecutive times either without eating anything because I was I'm sorry, I heard myself. I was like,
That's okay. Olga, you've got a window running in the back. Close out of the other one that you were in. Otherwise, we'll hear it going in the background. Okay.
So yeah, so today I woke up and I did the lemon water, and then I made a soup because that's what I've been kind of wanting. It's been cold and chilly here, so I wanted something warming to keep me warm and fill me. So, I guess while I did have a lot of soup because my soup was full of calories, it still is taking me a long time to get back to 100%. So I'm just now getting back because I've had 3 meals and the snacks. So it was just kind of interesting adjusting back to eating again after not eating for 3 days. And that's why I'm saying it's been a little bit hard going back to 100%.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is actually, and I love this because this is a good, not that you were feeling groggy, but this is a really good learning experience for you because now you're going to see, you've seen what some clients are going to experience when they go through this juice fast. This is also part of the reason why we do not encourage juice fasting beyond 4 days. It's too much for the body. It's too hard on the body, and what happens is your metabolism starts to slow down. So this is why when you see juice fasts that are promoted for 10 days, 20 days, 30, even up to 90 days, it's really not a healthy state for your body to be in. You cannot survive on that extended caloric deficit. So are you going to lose weight? Sure, you're going to lose weight because you're not taking in any calories. Your body has to survive, even for basic functions. But it's not healthy, and that's why when people juice fast for these extended periods of time, and then they come back and you see them, and prime example, look at Joe Cross. If you saw him in his first documentary and then you saw him come back for his second documentary, he put a lot of his weight back on. He even admitted in his second documentary, hey, I put a lot of weight back on, this is just not right, and the whole second documentary was about, okay, it's got to be healthier eating with whole foods, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we do not encourage clients to juice fast for more than 4 days. Honestly, myself, about 3 days, and as I have told Paula before, I'm ready to chew my arm off. I need to chew. Yeah. I have that.
That was me when I was drinking the juice and my lemon water. I was hoping that the little things in the lemon would fall into my water so I could choose something. It was so bad. I mean, by the time I got to talk to Paula, because our coaching sessions are on Sunday. By the time I got to talking to her, I'm like going in the kitchen looking at the fridge. I'm like, maybe if I just look at the food, maybe I'll feel full. It was horrible. I was like, oh my gosh, this is hard. This is really hard. So, but today, on the bright side, and I know I have to let the other people go, I did find myself choosing better foods. I found myself wanting to eat really healthy to maintain and give my body, a chance to heal by eating really, really healthy. I also found that I was craving fats, so like avocado and olives. So I ended up eating more than I normally do, and they tasted good, which was surprising to me. But yeah, I found that I was eating much more. I found that I would opt for not putting sugar in my tea because it was too sweet. Just little things that normally, I would do without thinking. I found that, okay, I'm chewing my food more. I'm really feeling the taste and tasting the taste of what I'm eating. So I will say there was a brighter side of it. It's just, it was hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm glad that you made it through. And you are going to get clients who are going to say, you know what, I just can't do this. I can't do this. But you can do this, and sometimes. And we've talked about this previously when actually both myself and Paula were going through the program. Sometimes you just have to knuckle down and muscle it through, and it can be difficult. It can be some of the hardest times that you have to get through, but you've just got to really focus in and make it through. And realize that you are going to eat again. This is not
the end.
You're never going to not chew again. You are going to chew again. So it's muscling through that last bit of that juice fast and making it through.
Yes.
So good for you. I'm proud that you made it through that.
Thank you.
Rashawn, I'm coming to pick on you because you're sitting there just so nice and just kind of taking this all in.
I'm just thinking, I'm processing everything she said, actually.
How was your week?
Well, my week was good, Jill, because I finished my video on Saturday. As per instruction, it's in editing right now, which has tied me up, but it will be done.
Excellent, excellent.
I went for we went for a 2-mile walk today, me and the dog, and I really didn't feel a lot of knee pain today. Usually I'm feeling a little something, and I actually completed it at a faster pace today, so that's a step. Started my 21-day meditation series with Deepak and Oprah, and that's about it so far.
Awesome.
But if I could say 2 cents about the juice fasting.
Yes, please.
I think it will get easier the more you do it. And I always plan my juice fasts on either long weekends or a time when I can completely rest. And I know for people that have to work that might be unrealistic. But anytime maybe that you can do it over a weekend where you could commit to really resting, I think that might help a lot, because if you're juicing and then you're running around crazy, your body's going to get really tired, because you in a sense are detoxing during that time. You're really allowing the gut to do what it needs to do and stuff like that. So just from my experience, and I've done my share of fasting over the last 3 years. So maybe that will help, but I think kudos to you for getting through it, Kavada.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Olga, how did your week go?
My week? My weeks are good. With the surgery part has been a little tough, but I started my exercises with my knee and my weights, and that's been working out. Pretty much stuck to program and lost weight, lost more inches, and for someone who's just sitting around, I think that's pretty darn good. Really worked on my juicing and finally found a juicer that's working for me rather than not working for me, because I tried to do a video on why the juicer didn't work and why it had beet juice all over the kitchen, which was interesting. It was looked like blood everywhere. But so I feel like I'm really on my way, and I was very happy to know that that I really know what I'm doing with juicing now, like by peeling my vegetables and making sure that I have everything organized and ready to go. And I'm just really enjoying my salads and what I'm doing. So this week I'm going to juice for 3 days. Juice for 3 days. So that's going to be a kick for me. And I'm hoping that I'm not doing a lot of strenuous exercises. For me, the strenuous exercises is hopping around on my crutches, and the pain is really hard at night with the knee. So I'm just trying to keep my body balanced and happy and all that. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Paula, I'm going to connect you up with Olga, because it's the Kuvings juicer that she's having issues with leaking all over.
Oh, I see.
The same one that you have. So Paula might have some tips for you.
Oh, really? Okay. I like that. Give me a tip. I even made sure it was tight. So.
Well, I have to admit, because I'm that kind of pushover mom, when I got the new Kuvings, my daughter was needing a juicer, so I let her have it. I only used it for a short period of time, but she uses hers without a problem. So let me, as far as I know, so let me talk to her, Olga, and I will get back to you in the community, and I'll let you know what she has to say.
Yeah, because I went through every problem-solving thing, and even around the, I made sure everything was locked in and everything was nicey, tighty, and I had peeled everything, and boy, I did it 4 times, and
It's
still
always leaked from the beginning?
it's leaked from the very beginning. Yeah.
Because I know, so I use a Breville, and I know that if I juice too long before I clean everything out and then continue to juice, it'll leak out the rim. But yours is from the beginning.
From the beginning, it doesn't matter. I put it in there, all over the place. And I mean, celery juice. I mean, celery.
I did use it for a while, but I didn't have that problem. But let me you know what? I'll just get it from her and I'll juice here and see what I can figure out, and we'll talk about it.
Okay, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what community's all about. Yoo-hoo!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
So Elizabeth, I know you've got yourself muted. Are you there? Can you talk to us and tell us how you're doing?
I'm here, but I have children that are screaming in the back. But maybe they'll take a moment and not, or they're eating.
You want to tell us how your week went?
My week went fine. Well, in a sense, my husband did more of the program than I did, and because I'm prepping for surgery that I'm having tomorrow, so I haven't actually been able to have any juice for 2 weeks. But I've been eating the meal plans, and actually I have lost a couple pounds from that. My husband, of course, has lost more. He had a hard time with the second day he did a 2-day juice fast this last weekend, and he had a hard time at the end. He just got tired of the way things tasted, and he said he'd rather just not drink anything or eat anything. It's not so much that he craved anything, he just didn't want to do it anymore. And he didn't feel good last night, but this morning he actually said he felt energized, and I was like, see? Sorry, told you.
It's okay.
We've all been there. It's good.
I'll try to go another room further away. Okay. So I mean, and I've been doing lots of prepping for the surgery that's happening because I won't be able to do anything. So I've been making all the stuff to freeze and all this stuff. So I'm nervous about that tomorrow, but I mean, last week went okay. I guess I guess it went okay.
Excellent. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Krista, I know you're watching. I did enable the chat. If you want to give us a little update in the chat, we'd love to hear what's going on with you. I know you don't have a microphone, so feel free to type questions to us or give us a little update. We'd love to hear from you. So, you know, let's touch on a couple of struggles. First of all, back to Kavadas. And you're not the only one who has struggled with juice fasts. And it is something that takes some adjusting to. Paula, what was it like when you first started juice fasting?
I was really bad because I had never done anything like that before, ever. And the first juice fast I did was 4 days. And by the end of day 2, like, I was a witch. It was bad. Like, I couldn't communicate with anyone. On day 3, I started driving to work, and I got maybe 2 miles, and I came home, and I didn't go to work the rest of the week. It was bad. It was very hard. It was extremely hard. So I had a lot of headaches, and I was tired, but I had a lot of headache. I think the thing that I remember the most was I never thought I would have a headache like that because I had already quit caffeine years before, but I had already cut back on quite a bit of sugar for maybe, I guess, 4 months. I had taken all the sugar out of, like, processed foods. I was watching what I was buying, making sure it didn't have extra sugar and stuff like that in it. But it was really hard. But I will say, through every struggle, there's always going to be something good that happens. And by the end of the 3rd day, or maybe it was the beginning of by the end of the 3rd day, going to bed, I thought, 3 days, you know. On the 4th day, even though I was hungry, I couldn't believe how much better I felt. It was like a light switch. I'm not saying I wasn't hungry. I'm not saying I didn't want to eat, but I had never experienced that feeling before. So through every struggle and all that ups and downs and stuff, the reward at the end is so worth it, to me anyways. So know that it'll get better. And I remember, like you had said, May, I can remember May saying, it's not like you're never going to eat again. And that just stuck in my head. Like, you know, I have food in the kitchen, so anytime I want to walk in there and eat, I can. It's just that I'm choosing to wait, so I'm just going to wait. So.
Exactly. Well, Krista says here, she says, I'm doing great. Week 1 was hard, but I made it, and I didn't cheat on Halloween. Awesome. Good job for you, Krista.
Yay.
I will get a lesson on how to use my mic and camera this week so you can see me. Excellent. We'd love to have you join us. So, awesome. Yeah, you know, it's kind of interesting, Krista, because you were starting week 1 going into Halloween, which can be a really, you know, we're kind of coming into some tough times of the year, and it's with the holiday season and everything else, you know, everybody associates the holidays with eating and snacking and treats and things like that, and it's really this is where your mindset piece is going to be a big part of this, because you're really going to have to tap into that mindset and make the decision of, okay, what is this about? Is this about the food? Is this about family? What is this piece about? And that's where you're really going to have to kind of knuckle in, and sometimes it's whether you need to journal, whether you need to meditate, whether you need to talk through this with somebody in the community. And it's decide, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And it's learning to become okay with yourself and know that it may feel like other people are pressuring you to have to eat things or you know, take gifts of food or whatever. But you know what? There are 2 words, and I had to learn this when I started this program. It's no thank you. No thank you. And it's exercising your right to verbalize those 2 words and say no thank you and not feel guilty about it. And I will tell you, because I've seen everybody who's sitting in the panel, and I know a lot of you are moms, and there seems to be that guilt piece that goes along with being a mom of, I can't say no. I can't say no. You can say no. You absolutely can say no. So it's okay. I remember having this conversation my first year with FitLife. And the holidays came, and it was like, well, what do we do? And I can remember May telling us that, I think it was clients of Stevens that brought them baked treats and things like that. She gave them to another neighbor. You know, she gave them to another neighbor. She just forwarded it to somebody else. So don't feel like you can't, you know, do that. You're okay to do that. You know, if you don't want to say no to them, take it and pass it on. You know, this is the season of giving, so why not share it? Paula, what was one of your strategies?
My first big holiday, I think, was Thanksgiving, and what I had decided to do was, I knew it was going to be on the menu. We have the same thing every year. I knew that there was probably one thing that I wasn't going to say no to, and so I decided that I would get my fitness in before I went, because I knew I wasn't going to do it afterwards. And I actually had the one thing that I thought, you know, I wanted and had to have. And because my taste had changed so much, it didn't taste near as good. It wasn't as satisfying as I thought it was going to be. But it was an important lesson for me to learn. And then everything else that was there, because there's, I mean, dessert, I don't even want to talk about the regular food, but dessert alone is like 4 or 5 pies and candy and whipped cream and ice cream and all sorts of stuff. And that didn't bother me. Like by that time I was pretty good with, you know, I didn't need that. I wanted a particular like dinner item. And I had a little bit, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So I was proud of myself. I got my fitness in. I did what I said I was going to do. I thought about it before I went so that I wasn't stuck standing at the table trying to decide what I was going to do at that moment. And, you know, had all my decision laid out before I got there.
I love it.
So that's what I did.
Krista's saying it's all mindset, and she said, I'm doing the Deepak Oprah meditation too, and I told the family, yeah. Who's all doing the Deepak Oprah series, the free one? I love it. Me too. Me too. I love it. I encourage you, share that. You know, share that with anybody that you think would benefit from it. I love that series. Absolutely love it. So, Krista, yeah, keep it up. Mindset is the biggest challenge, and I think it's the biggest piece of this program that you really have to get a handle on with that. And let's kind of talk about some of the things that you can do. Paula mentioned one of them. Get your exercise in. You know, get your fitness in. Know that before you go to any kind of dinner, anything, that you are going to go out and, you know, maybe it's a lot of gyms are open just to have like a morning workout on the holidays. Oftentimes you can go for a fun run or a walk. I know where I'm from, they always had a turkey trot on the morning of Thanksgiving. There's things you can do. Just get out and take a walk. Anything. Get out and play with your kids or your grandkids. Any simple things you can do. One of the other things, you can juice. You know what? Juice up until the time that you're going to dinner so that you know that you had a really good solid day. You've done some good things for your body. And that way, maybe if you decide to slightly overindulge, it's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be that bad. So, Kavada, go ahead. I see you with your hand raised.
So, for me, with the juice fast, what I found, other than it wanting to eat everything in sight, what I found myself feeling was kind of like guilty that I wanted to eat. And that goes a lot to the mindset. You know, I walk in here saying, okay, I want to help people and I want to do this. And if I'm hoping that my clients can do this and go through this, then I should be able to do so too. And so walking with that inside that juice fast and saying, I should be able to do this, and then feeling like I can't, and then wanting to eat, and actually contemplating to go eat and open the refrigerator and ready to pull something out to eat, that process of finding myself finding it hard to resist, it was something that I dealt with a lot. And I didn't really realize it until today when I was actually eating, and I was going through the days of what happened, you know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that was my biggest challenge, aside from not eating, was feeling bad about wanting to eat and feeling bad about, you know, just saying, okay, I'll cheat here, or let me taste this. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't even make my soup last night, because I knew that if I did, I was going to eat, and that's just the truth. So I decided I'll wake up in the morning earlier and go make the soup before I go to work. And I'm glad that I did that, because in my way, that was my strategy, not to cheat, you know. But it was interesting going through that and coming to that realization, and now trying to work around that, finding, okay, how can I find the positive in that situation? And that has been a little bit challenging as well, and it's another reason why I'm saying that I'm trying to recover, because it was also very stressful emotionally for me as well, wanting to be a winner, you know, and I'm a type A personality. I have to win. That's just what it is, you know, and if I don't win, it's a problem. So humbling myself has been a challenge. That's one of the biggest lessons that I've been learning lately about myself, and, you know, saying, okay, how do I connect the dots and be okay with my failure and finding growth in this failure, and then working to be better, 1% better tomorrow has been, or I guess today, because I'm here today looking at what I did yesterday, has been my challenge. And I don't know if anybody else who's gone through the juice fast, or like Rashawn, I know she's gone through the whole thing with the 3 days, and I know Miss Paula has too. I don't know if they went through that as well, if those were some of the challenges that they did.
And
Go ahead, Rashawn. Yeah.
And I cheated. By the end of day 3, I was digging into something, even if it was small. So absolutely, everything you say, I've absolutely been through.
And Rashawn, what did you do to help change that mindset?
Oh, you know what? It just took time. None of my, I mean, my fasts weren't perfect, but I was just feeling so bad that I had to decide whether I knew that the food caused a reaction in my joints, and so I really had to consciously decide that I wanted to be healthy more than I wanted to eat. It was just telling myself that. I mean, like I said, it's just practice. It does get easier, but it was tough. I mean, it was tough. It's a good thing I was by myself.
Mm-hmm. Paula, how about you?
Yeah, I experienced all those things. It's similar to Rashawn. You know, I had an issue, a health issue that I was dealing with. I was trying to cure myself of liver disease or condition that couldn't be treated medically, and so by the time I got to this point of finding Fit Life, and I was desperate, so I kind of I don't know if I felt guilty, but I felt like I couldn't believe that I let myself get to the point that I was at. And how could I do that to myself? So maybe it is guilt. I'm not really sure how, what you would call that, but I wanted to get better and prove the doctor that I could. I wanted that so much more than anything, because the outlook was grim. So I wanted to, that's what I wanted. So I just used that as my strength. Like, that is what kept me going, because I knew from following Drew, and I had been on the Facebook wall when we had it. I was on that all the time, like spying on everybody, reading what everybody put up there and taking it all in. And I just knew inside me that this is where I needed to be, and it has never let me down.
Yeah, and Paula just brought up a really good point there with that, as knowing where you can go for support, knowing who you can tap into. So, first of all, foremost, you have a coach. Everybody has a coach, and I guarantee you, your coaches are available. So if you're feeling like you're struggling, you know what? Tap into those coaches. Second place you can go, the wall, the membership wall. It's a great place to go to get support. And I mean, prime example, I'm going to give an example of two of our coaches that are not on this call, but when they were doing their first juice fasting, and this was back when Paul and I first were new in the community as well. They were on, and this was when we were still on Facebook, they were on the Facebook wall one night. Two of them were juice fasting. They were both out of their mind wanting to eat food and feeling terrible about the fact that they wanted to eat food. So the two of them started this conversation back and forth, and it was on the wall, so everybody was seeing this. They were virtually eating food together in this conversation, and it was talking about all this delicious food and what it would be and what it would smell like and what it would taste like, and it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but it was the fact that they were supporting each other, and sure, they were talking about food, but they were getting through it together. They were supporting each other through this struggle. And if you talk to the two of them now, they will still laugh about the fact that they were virtually eating everything they could think of together on the wall, and they were supporting each other. And it's a huge thing. I guarantee you, if you post inside the membership, that you're struggling, you will get responses. You will have people responding back to you to say, okay, yeah, I am too, or I'm doing this, I'm struggling. So there is always somebody that you can turn to when you're struggling with this. So and never, know who those people are. Even if it's maybe your family's on board with you, maybe your family's not on board with you. But I guarantee you, this is part of what makes our community so unique. You have this huge supportive community. You've got a place to go inside Google that's transformational coaching. If you're in the certification program, you've got a coaching wall with those going through certification and all the certified coaches. I guarantee you've got all these great places that you can go to for support. So don't feel like you can't tap into that support. Elizabeth, I see your hand up. Go ahead.
I wanted to do it before I unmuted myself.
Yeah. Go ahead.
On that support, that when I first went through it, my first juice fast, my first juice fast was really hard. I remember at the second day, I wanted to eat so badly, and I wanted certain foods, of course, at that time, I wrote on the wall, and I had like 5 or 10 people, and it was when we were in Facebook groups, 5 or 10 people write back, and it helps you get over, because it was a craving, and I needed that support for like the 10, 20 minutes or 30 minutes or how long it lasted, and then all of a sudden the feeling went away, but I needed that support for that amount of time, and so it was very helpful. So just wanted to put those 2 cents in what you were saying. So I can mute myself, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, and it does not make you weak because you're going through that. It does not make you weak. You're actually, I think, a stronger person because you're reaching out for help. So, and these are things that you're going to have to tell clients. Each one of you that's on this call is going through certification right now. These are things that you're going to have to share with clients about when they say, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And, let's talk about the after effect. You get somebody who comes to you and says, oh my gosh, I fell off the wagon. And that term of fell off the wagon, I hate that term. I'm going to just put it out there bluntly. I hate that term because you have not fallen off the wagon. This is not. You may have tripped up a little bit, but you have not fallen off the wagon. And this is exactly, one of the biggest things that we talk about is doing your 1% better each day, but also not beating yourself up. And the worst thing that you can do is beat yourself up. So if it happens and, something happens, look at it, think about why it happened, think about what you can do to change that next time, because now you know that that's a trigger for you. Whatever it is, you know that is now a trigger for you. So by being aware of that, you can make changes the next time that comes up. So be aware of it and don't beat yourself up. Let it go and move on. Yesterday or Saturday was Halloween. Okay, so you had the Snickers bar. It's done, it's over, you can't get it back, so let it go. And know that, you're moving forward. And it wasn't easy, and this is my second Halloween with FitLife. Last year, was not perfect for me at all. Was not. It was very difficult. This year was a candy-free Halloween, and I had no problem. I didn't think about it. I didn't want it. But it took me basically 3 Halloweens, this is my 3rd one, to get through to be at that point where I could say, you know what, I don't need it. I don't have to have it. So, Krista made a comment. She said, I told all my friends and family what I'm doing and not to be hurt if I don't eat out and drink wine, etc. Good for you, Krista. I love that. I love that. Anybody else have any questions?
I have something just real quick. I wanted to say, Kavada, if you're anything like me, what I did as far as reaching out to people is I challenged myself to reach out to people because I've never really, I don't like to present myself as vulnerable, And so, definitely when we're in situations, especially when we're fasting, we're kind of in a vulnerable state. But, even having Jill as my coach, I've challenged myself to reach out to people. And so I make it a point to call her when I have a bad day, because I normally wouldn't do that. And it's really helped tremendously too. So if it's a problem, if it's an issue, then I just for me, I just make it a challenge to really work the program. And we have the community, and it's here for a reason. So, if I'm going to be a coach, I need to work it. And part of it is reaching out and asking for help too. So that's what I do.
Awesome. Olga, I know you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Well, I know maybe it's a silly question, but can you kind of work up to the 3 days by doing like a day with 2 juices and a regular meal, and then the next day jump into the 3 days? I know it sounds silly, but like kind of shrink your stomach down a little bit so that you can jump in and do the 3 days and go, because I'm going to do it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I thought maybe on Wednesday I would just have a couple of, a juice and a blended drink, and then a big lunch, and I don't know. I mean, not a big lunch, your regular great salads that we do. I know it's probably not programmed, but I just thought I'd put it out there.
Paula, you wanna respond to that?
Come on, Coach Paula.
Well, is that what you're on week 4, running into your ending your week 4? Right,
Yes.
so you're already doing some juices and some juices throughout the days at different times, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think that you just follow your menu, you're going to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, do. It's not, and you know what? It's not, we're scaring her. It's not easy, but it's fine.
Why would it be so hungry? I'm going to eat my elbow or something,
Hey, well, it has no calories, so you're good.
I mean, I have to tell you that my problem has always been that I don't eat enough. Okay, the reason I gained weight was because I was a principal of a middle school and I never ate. Really. Until February, or was it January? January. When I went to my nutritionist, I actually started to eat. And I mean, like, I ate lunch, I ate breakfast, I ate lunch, I ate dinner, I had snacks between meals, I lost a lot of weight, and I was doing a really clean, healthy diet. So for me, it's not that I crave crap, okay? I just don't crave any sugars. I don't crave, pies or cakes. I can't even stand them. But so for me, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be just a piece of cake not to eat if I'm just drinking juice. And maybe it's just in my head, but I'm really interested to see how this is going to affect me.
I think that's a great outlook to have. That's not going to be a problem.
Hopefully it won't. I think I might be craving my snacks, my nuts in between, because I do get hungry now. And but I want to see what happens. And I don't eat caffeine. I mean, I don't drink caffeine. I haven't for years, and I'm not a sugar freak. So it'll be interesting for me. Just,
I would say do your program like it's designed, right? And because you need to eat, and you don't want to go in there being, starving. I think you just do your program the way that it's designed, and just take it day by day. And if you find yourself having a problem, then you call Jill. Message Jill, help, I don't know what to do. Drink your water.
Okay.
Well, and you also want to make that your your protein powder, your healthy fats. That's going to be a key to carrying you through. That's the piece that's going to give you that satiety between those juices. Is either adding the protein powder in or adding the fat. And let's just talk about that real quick. How do you get that in? Well, if you're going to do protein powder, you have a couple options on that. You can mix it in your juice. You completely have that option. I usually put mine into a shaker container with one of those little shaker balls, and I will add. I like to add my vanilla cake batter protein powder to juices. That's not everybody's cup of tea. and you don't have to add it to your juice. You can mix it up in a little water, shake it up separately, and drink it along with your juice. Drink it separately. So that's not a problem. Paula, you want to go over the healthy fats?
So if you do your protein while you're with your juice, in between you want to do your healthy fats. And healthy fats are, your avocado, your oil, your coconut oil. You can have olives as your healthy fat, or almond butter. Your nuts or seeds. So you do those in between to help as your snacks, to help keep your blood sugar level and help you get through your day. I do it the opposite, though, I'll tell you. I don't do my protein with my juice. I do my.
What are you doing?
I do my fat usually with my juice, and I do my protein, usually MCT oil, and I do my protein in between. I find that keeps me feeling better, and I like chocolate protein, so for me it's almost like a true snack in between.
Ah, okay.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. So that's just another option for you there, Olga.
Okay.
Easy way to do it.
Well, I'll let you guys know. Just be thinking of me Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
We will.
Absolutely, you got this.
Great.
You totally got it. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Vada, go ahead.
Yeah, so, well, it's not really a question per se. It's just to piggyback on what Ms. Rashan said. I can totally understand, and I feel like maybe Ms. Rashan and I are kindred spirits, because she sometimes says the same things that I have in my head. But what I did find to be challenging for me, and I guess this is just a cultural thing, I am taught. I grew up in an environment where we were taught that we shouldn't really put out burdens on other people, because by telling them what's going on with us, you're really putting that burden on somebody and letting them walk away with that, which is unfair. So I'm understanding now that I have to come out of that mindset, or that programming, in a sense. So I guess my question to you is, how does one break out of, these patterns that we may have because of how we were raised, or our thought processes that are so deep embedded that you don't even realize that they affect you? Because Ms. Paula was like, "You've been quiet all weekend. Are you okay?" Because I really went silent. I didn't say anything to her until Sunday, when she reached out to me, and that was me, saying, "Okay, I committed to this, and I'm, kind of sludging through it," because that's really what it became. It was me. It felt like I was in quicksand, and I'm trying to get out of it. But I don't. How do you break out of that? How do you? I don't know. I guess, how do you change the patterns and have fun doing it? Or what do you replace it with? I guess, because May talked about that last week, about not just removing something, but replacing it so that it becomes a reinforced habit.
Right.
Does that question make sense?
Absolutely. And you know what? You're first of all, the biggest step is you're acknowledging this with yourself. So that's the first step, is recognizing that this, and we're all raised in certain ways, and there's things that have been ingrained in us since birth, and it's just ideals, and it's the way that we've always been. And so realizing that is the first step in the right direction to that. So once you realize it, then you can start to work on it. And having grown up in an Irish Catholic family, I was raised on guilt, so I understand that. And having been a single mom for a lot of years too, it's that guilt. So it's stepping beyond that, and part of that is learning to love yourself during this process, which you know, oftentimes we're putting so many other people and everything else first before we put our own stuff. Oftentimes we don't even make our own to-do list for the day, and that can be a problem. So it's recognizing it first, and then it's slowly starting to step out of that and move beyond that. Rashawn, you want to talk a little bit on that? Because I see you're just smiling over there.
I mean, it is. I mean, and I think a lot of people can relate. When I was first diagnosed with RA, it's like my life almost kind of flashed before me. It's like, this is what you've done up until this point. And I've read books, and I've known about journaling and meditating and, you know, having a close-knit friends. And I've known about all that, but I never did it because I'm just was very much just wanted to appear stronger and nothing was wrong with me. It's kind of like, you know, animals in the wild. If you show like you're injured, you're weak and you'll be eaten. And so I very much had that mentality, and I had to decide to change my life if I was going to change my diagnosis. I really did, and this could be anything. It could be your weight. It could be depression. It could be anything. You just really have to decide, I'm going to have to take little steps to do it. I mean, joining FitLife, if I could have had FitLife 2 years ago, I probably would have been much healthier faster. I don't know. I mean, it's a process. But just to have the community that I've had in 2 months that I've been in part of the group has changed my life in so many ways. And I forced myself to start the gratitude and start journaling and the meditation. All that I've read and heard and watched people, how it transforms their life, I never did it. And I just finally said, I'm going to have to start doing this if I want to change, because what I've done up until this point is not working for me. So if I have to be vulnerable, then vulnerable it is. It's just like taking that fear by the hand and just going forward. And I'm just working it. I mean, I have good days and bad days. It's not perfect by any means, but I just have to start somewhere. And that's why I love 1%, because it really is just one little thing, challenging each day. So.
Love it.
I
Paula,
think,
you want to add something?
yeah, I do. I think too that sometimes you're learning a lot of new information, and you're taking in a lot of new concepts and ideas and education and practices, and more times than not, it's very hard to take all of that and implement at once. So it takes the repetition and talking in these calls and being in the community, and sometimes you hear it and it just doesn't click in there because maybe it's not your time to hear it yet. You know, and so the more you stay involved and you stay involved with like-minded people, you know, if you're going to choose to come talk to someone and let that shield down, you want to come talk to us, not a stranger or even a family member that doesn't understand what you're going through. And the more you're involved and listen and, you know, read the posts in the community or in the membership, you know, you may after some time hear something enough that you finally say, aha, you know, just like your learning experience of how you were raised, and you would have never looked at that you would have not come to that realization if you didn't just go through what you went through. So it's not only serving a purpose, I mean, it's 100% serving a purpose, mentally, physically. So I just think that, you know, you just have to keep trying and moving forward, and when it's right for you, it'll work, and you'll accept it, and you just and when you come to that realization, like you have, it's just figuring out the next step. It doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be tomorrow, but it made you aware so that the next time you go through the similar situation, you're going to just be more mindful of it. I guess, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. It's just remember, Kavada, this didn't happen overnight. None of this just happened like that. So it's going to be a process to make these changes. It's going to be, and one of my favorite things to tell clients is that, you know, it's learning to love yourself all over again. And it's truly learning to love yourself to be able to say, you know what, this is okay. I can do this. I can do this. And one of my favorite exercises that May had taught me was, as you're, you know, starting this transformation, every day look in the mirror and really look in the mirror right at yourself. I mean, you have to look at, not beyond, because we have a tendency to look beyond ourselves, but look in the mirror and find something to compliment yourself on each and every day. Something genuine to say, you know what, so that you're learning to start to feel that love within yourself. And at first it's going to feel very strange, very awkward, but the more you do it, the more that is going to grow. And suddenly, when you look in the mirror, you're going to be saying, wow, you know what, I really do love myself, I really do appreciate myself, and I really can do this, and I don't have to feel guilty about it. So little baby steps. It's that 1% better each day. Okay.
Well, I want to say something.
Go ahead, Olga.
I think all of you guys are beautiful, and you're all doing a great job, you know. And Kavada, you are really a beautiful lady. I can see that.
Well, thank you.
Every single one of you guys are great, and you're all beautiful, and just have to keep going forward, you know. Every day's a new day. You just wake up in the morning and you go, hey, it's a new day. I get to start all over again, and I'm doing a great job. And you'll get there, you know. I know next week when I talk to you guys, I'm going to be down in my 140s, okay? I know that because that's my goal. And I went from 174, and I want to be like 149 by next Monday. And it's going to get there. You know, it'll be the first time, geez, in years and years, but it'll happen, especially with that nice little juice fast, right? Right, Paula? Right?
You're good.
And I have to say about inflammation, you know, and arthritis, for me, having had arthritis so bad in my back, I have not, in the last, how long have I been on this now? 30 days? 40 days? Mm-hmm. I have not had one back issue at all, even through all of this surgery with my knee up all the time and doing all this stuff with my leg. I have no inflammation right now. And so if people were to know that, gosh, you know, like Rashawn, I mean, just look at what's happened with your body just by not eating all that crap. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. So keep that in mind. This is your medicine, is your food. And I don't think people realize that is their medicine. It's not the medicine that is making you better. So, anyways, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. Don't we have another call or something now?
We do. I'm usually the one reminding May, and here I am. Paula.
I'm sorry, I forgot that was my job. I'll do better the next call.
That's okay.
That's okay. Everybody this time.
Okay. So this is the new format, and just to remind you that you'll need to register, so that'll be posted you saw it in the Google wall. So check that out each week, and you'll get your link there. And let's head over to the other call. I'll see you guys over there, and I'll invite you all in just in case you didn't get a chance to register. So if you're going to join that one, just send me a little message, and I'll include you in. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
Register. All right. Bye.
I'll get you in.